Hello and welcome everybody to Crypto Rosetta. My name is Savage and today we're going to be having a look at VECHAIN. Before we jump into the analysis, I just want to say thank you for watching. If you're enjoying the content, please smash that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, turn on those bell notifications so you never miss a video, and why not leave us some feedback down below. Okay, so let's talk about this move. So potentially we could have completed this move as we had it shown here yesterday, and looking at this as potentially a diagonal to complete. So there's a couple of ways of looking at this move right in this zone here. So we need to go over them, and we're going to go over them within this video. So just make sure you stay tuned to see all the different options. But basically, there's a potential we've completed into this high point. And basically that would be looking at this this option here. At the fact of looking at this as a 1, 2, 3 into here, flat for a fourth and a fifth wave up, and actually potentially we completed into here. This would then indicate to me that we're actually setting up to have a much deeper retracement. So the area we'd be looking for is actually this this 1823 to this 1650 area, and effectively that would be a zone that we'd be looking to retrace down for as a B wave or a wave 2. So effectively this move would then be looking for this to be a 1, 2, or an A and a B to the upside. So it would also sort of tie in with coming back and retesting this this channel. So if we do actually move down deeper here, this would be a zone that could be interesting depending on how long this actually takes to play out. We could actually move this box over this way and potentially come and look to retest some of these zones lower down. It is also possible that, you know, we could have an extension within here and we have that other option. So basically within this, what we'd be looking for then, if we're looking at this as a completed move to the upside here, effectively what we'd be looking to start doing is form a 5-wave move to the downside here. So within this structure, we can argue that we're still setting up for this. And we'd be looking, so there's two ways of counting this. You can count this as a 1, 2, 1, 2, and then we're actually starting to break down for this third wave that we've got indicated here. Alternatively, we can just count it as a simple 5-wave move, but this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Because of how deep we've come here, I'm favoring more the idea of setting up for 1, 2. Because we've actually come past this 50% and we're sort of heading more towards that 618. So either this is just going to be a invalidate and be a zigzag, or we're getting, like I said, this could be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for wave 1. This could then be setting up for this wave 2 retracement. The current structure is looking like a 5-wave move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We retrace down for a B wave, push up one more time for a C wave, and then look to break down for this third. So that's what I'm sort of looking for within this move. Either that, or we have a flat within here where this is an A, a B, and then we have this push up for a C. But either way, it's looking for some downside potential here. So this could potentially develop into a bigger impulsive structure. Confirmation would only come though by dropping past this 1961, and then we'd be looking potentially to hit this target zone here of this 1936 to this 1897. If that does play out, effectively what we would then have is off this high point here, we'd have the potential to have another 1, 2 within here. So it's possible that what we could still have is basically all of this would then become a wave 3, and then we'd look for a fourth and a fifth. The problem is I don't really like counting the substructure like this, but it is possible. So we got to keep in mind that this is something that can play out. The other way is we can just count it as a completed move into this low point, and that we're looking still for this potential to come up into this rejection zone. The difference is that the target area would be slightly different. So if we go off that 0.618 again, then effectively the impulsive, the typical third wave travel area would be this 1916 rather, and that would be looking at that whole move as a 5-wave move. So it's possible we could actually get this play out, but like I said, confirmation only comes by having this bigger drop to the downside. If we do move back up past, basically past this point here of this 2314 and this point here of this 2346, then we have another potential here, and we're going to go over that in a second. But for as long as we hold below this line, it is possible that we form this impulsive structure to the downside here, and we could actually look to break down much deeper. Okay, so we've got that out the way. The other way we can look at this is if we're looking at this move rather as completing here, we could look at this as a corrective structure, and basically instead of looking at this as a diagonal here, because of the overlap, it can't be read as a regular impulse. So it's making there is potential that actually we have completed into this high, and we're just making a more complex structure here, where this is an A, a B, and a C for a W wave. Then potentially we come up here and form this X wave. So this X wave rejection box is sort of shown here, with this 2295 being the higher range of that. And what we'd be looking for here is effectively forming 3-wave structure to the upside here, and looking to target out these zones. So we'd want to see this sort of retrace and push back up again, and then look to retest some of this zone. So the main difference between this and the 5-wave move is this is potentially not going to go as deep. And what we'd be looking for at a 1-to-1 would basically be this 2089. It can extend, but I wouldn't, if we're looking at it as a corrective structure, and we say we come up here to this 618. Basically, I wouldn't really want to see it go past this 1.618. So it could travel technically all the way down to this, but I wouldn't really want to see it cross that 1.618 if this is the case. And then potentially, like I said, we could be looking at this as a bigger corrective structure, and that would play into the chance, or the potential of this option which we were looking for. And this option was looking for the potential that, let me turn this other one off, looking for the potential that actually what we could have is an additional 4th wave within this zone. So it doesn't, this is the typical zone that it travels, this 2091 to this 1894. So this is a typical area it could look to travel. We were talking about the potential of it coming back into this previous 4th wave area, and for the most part that still is valid. The main thing is how it comes back into this zone. If we get this develop as a 5-wave structure, we just need to be careful that this 4th wave might invalidate, because we can also count it as completed into this high like we just said. But if we do manage to find support back in this range, we could be looking for a push back up for an additional 5th wave to the upside. So that, depending on where this exactly comes in, will change this target area. But the area that we've got mapped out at the moment is 24 to this 2334 area. So it is also possible that we could have had a very short 4th wave here, and that it could actually be completed there. So the alternative to these options of coming down deeper is that looking at this structure in this way, we could actually argue that potentially we have a 4th completed into this low here. And if that's the case, what we would want to do is maintain this 21-22 area. For as long as we maintain that zone, it is possible we could start to form impulsive structure to the upside here. And it is possible that this could then become an impulsive structure, like I said. And with that, the target zone would effectively be pretty much this box area where we are currently. So this 2404 to this 2334. So that would be looking at this as a completed 4th wave from this low. And what we'd want to see here is basically we'd want to see 5-wave structure here. We can't. I'm going to look and I'm going to go down to the 30-minute time frame, see if we can see anything else going on here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It is potential. We could see this as a 1, 2. It needs to move up a little bit more though if it's going to be an impulse. Either that, or we need to form this as a wave 1, come back for a wave 2, and then look for that push to the upside. So I'm just going to measure it off the current structure. It's not looking completed though. As a corrective structure, I think we could potentially come back up here to this 2287 area at a 1-to-1. So I'd be looking at this as an A, B, and a C. But if we're looking for an impulse, effectively with what we have here, we'd have to argue we need to move above this 2240, and then we could look at that potentially as a third wave. Then we'd look for a fourth and a fifth wave up, and then look to break down and find support. But basically, if we lose this 2122 area, this would invalidate this potential. So like I said, what I'd want to see within this move to confirm that impulse would be to see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a 5-wave move like this, then to come back down and retrace and find support in this zone again, and then look for that additional push to the upside. Currently, like I said, it's hard to count this as an impulse at the moment. We can argue we may be getting some kind of an extension here where this will be a 1, 2, this will be a 1, 2, and then we're going to start forming that third wave and start to push up. But even then, that would only be confirmed by pushing up past this 2297 area. So let's just mark that actually. If we move up past this 2297 area, then it is possible that we have further extension within these waves. Other than that, we would have to be looking for the potential to actually drop back down and find support here. The 1 hour stochastic RSI is very overbought at the moment, but the lower time frames still have room for growth. The 8 hour, 4 hour, and I think even the daily is quite good. Yeah, the daily's got a lot of room on it as well. So it is possible that we could actually see some more upside play out here. And what we would have to then be looking at is whether this is actually completed in here, or whether we are actually starting to get a bigger fifth wave to the upside like we're talking about for here. The target zone is this, though if we get extensions, we can actually see that push up much higher. So we just need to give it a bit of time. If we maintain this 2122, then we can argue that we have a potential to build some bullish structure here and push to the upside. Though if we lose this 2122, effectively what I'd be looking for then is coming back and targeting out this 1980 sort of zone would be where I'd be looking for. Though, like I said, we'd have to be careful with this structure to see how it forms to the downside, because if we form 5-wave structure to the downside like this, then it's possible that we're actually going to look to extend much deeper and potentially look to target out that support zone lower down here at, if I can find the one there, at this 1823 to this 1650. So if we do actually form this more impulsive structure down here, I'd be anticipating coming back into the support zone and looking to retest it. However, if we do push down past this 1533, then we'll have to look at this as that potential option we were talking about in the previous videos, about potentially setting up for this move as just a corrective wave, and then actually looking to break down and set a new low. So we just need to be careful, because if we do start to break down, yeah, it is possible we are within this fifth wave. Well, we could be starting this fifth wave, and this fifth wave would actually be looking to take out this low, and would be doing so in a zigzag formation for a diagonal shape. So that's what we just got to be aware of. If we do actually start to break down and lose these support zones, we just need to look at this last sort of area of defense where we're looking for our bullish B wave as an A, B, and a C to the upside. But if we fail to hold this zone, fail to hold this 1533, it would indicate to me we're actually going to go much lower. Okay, so I hope you found the video useful. If you did, please smash that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't subscribed already, turn on those bell notifications so you never miss a video, and why not leave us some feedback down below in the comment section. I hope everyone has a great day, and we'll see each other in the next video. Take care out there, everybody.